we go. There we go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 36th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live College Show from yours truly, Jackson Johnson. And guess who's back for vacation this week? And we decided, you know what? Let's play a little something with style to welcome him back. Jeffrey from All Talk Sports. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing great, Jackson. It looks like I missed a lot. I mean, that's not bad, man. I like the intro. Definitely seems like it can get people pumped for the show. So that's nice. Definitely glad to be back. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff I'm sure to talk about tonight with you guys in the chat. Definitely give us a call with the StreamYard link if you want to ask us some questions about Alabama football or whatever you want to talk about when in regards to college football. Because right now we know the settlement thing going on. There's a lot of chaotic news in college sports right now, which again, it still makes me laugh so much, Jackson, that we were at a time as kids when the off season was the off season. You know what I'm saying? Like the season was over, and outside of some banter with like your friends and neighbors, you didn't talk about college football during the off season. Now every single day there's news. Every day. Like it blows my mind. With social media, Twitter, everything, there is always news. There's always stuff going on. And this NIL and the portal, the settlement, all of this is crazy. And definitely can't wait to talk about it with you guys. Definitely appreciate Coach Smoot for filling in last week and all that. I definitely wanted to be here. I missed being away, but definitely glad to be back with you all.
Well, there we go. And we're sorry we're late, everybody. Well, 20, 30 minutes late, so to speak. Internet's doing the mess around with Jeffrey, apparently, and got some stuff on my end as well that's messing around with me. But we take full responsibility. But
it's not going to stop us, like you said, rain, sleet, snow, or hell. It's not going to stop us. We're
I'm glad you
give it our all.
There we go, because we got the YouTube memberships for Alabama with the Voice College Football for $2.99 a month. You can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chat, a custom emoji to use in the comments and in the live chat, and you get a member shout out. Take off out the SEC, for example. He's one of our famous YouTube members for Alabama at the Voice College Football, and he always gets a shout out. Why? Because he is a YouTube member, all right here on Alabama with the Voice College Football. Oh, man. Well, for $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban disciple, where you'll get priority reply to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey All Talk Sports, Coach Johnny Burtz, and the primetime live host, Manny Wilson, and Coach Smoot Hines. And for $9.99 a month, you can connect on social media with us and give out content requests of any kind. And neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor bad weather of any kind, including this massive heat wave and the storm in Jeffrey's location, will not put a stop to us from fulfilling your request. All right here on Alabama with the Voice College Football. We promise you that. And it's all in the chat. And you got the call-in link. So if you want to come on in, give a call, give your take on the Alabama Crimson Tide, the link is in the chat. If you want a question put in and you want a good chance for it to be read, you can put it in a super chat, and we will make sure to read it on the double. Well, Hayes Fawcett has a little something for us. And it's somebody looking to come to Bama. So he says. Got this young man, Mac Sutter. He says he's down to Alabama, Ohio State, Illinois, and Ole Miss. The 6'6", 225-pound tight end from Dunlap, Illinois, is going to announce his commitment on June 26th. He's the number 6 tight end per On3 and the top 100 recruit. I wonder who he's kind of like exactly, because I'm curious to see what this young man's going to bring to the table. I hope he commits to Alabama. That would be a win. But
Oh,
I could.
absolutely. I was wondering why Illinois was on that list, right? And then you read that he's from Illinois. So I was like, yeah, kind of makes sense. I mean, you never know. Hometown guy, home state guy, whatever you want to call it. I think that used to matter more in the past. Now, guys don't really care all too much about, their home state team. It's more so about where you can get paid the most. And again, don't blame these players. It just makes for chaos. I know with the house settlement now that you're trying to crack down on it, but that still probably is going to be a mess. But yeah, definitely, to have a tight end ranked that high, he's probably really, really, really good. So it would be great for Bama to land him. I mean, Ohio State's always tough to beat, especially, right now. I mean, they've been landing so many 5-stars. So I would think it'd be between Alabama and Ohio State. And you never know, Illinois could be the wild card, home state. But, yeah, as Austin points out, yeah, it is, definitely for some players it's a dream. But, I mean, we saw with Underwood, Bryce Underwood. He wanted to play for LSU. Where's he at? He went to Michigan because Michigan gave him a bigger check. So money talks. Sometimes where you want to go, you don't end up going because you get paid more somewhere else. So
I mean, it's like, it's like you don't have to necessarily play for your home state or anything, but it's like I don't think I want to be playing for Portnoy because personally, I think he's too much of an asshole. But that's another
Jack,
topic.
we're not even 10 minutes in, and Jackson's already dropping some bombs. Let's go.
Well,
man.
but here we go. We got Matt Sutter.
And he's a tight end, outside linebacker, and QB.
Oh, he's living in the sunlight, dancing in the moonlight, and he's got a touchdown. There we go.
Yeah, appreciate you for being here, Burks. A lot of people don't seem to like him right now. Because I saw Jackson. You were talking about too. He did like a video talking about his house, right, or something like that. So I mean, you know how it is. People don't like people that I guess are perceived as arrogant. So in Portnoy's case, I mean, I guess in his position, he kind of reserves the right, but it's not going to win him over many friends, I guess. So that's what I have to say on the matter. But these highlights, he looks good.
Yep. Just like if you do commit to Illinois, I hope you don't. No hard feelings, Sutter, because you get to play for Brett Bielema. So I mean, no hard feelings there. Just we'll let him know if he does go to Ole Miss. You're not going to see an SEC title because, like, the last time Ole Miss won an SEC title was 1963. Like Bonanza was on the cusp of being the #1 television show at that time when Ole Miss last won the SEC.
Yeah, I mean that's a long time ago. I will say that Ole Miss's biggest issue is being able to recruit at the highest level. Like they get a lot of quality players, but as a whole, their team just still isn't on the Bama, Georgia level or Texas. I mean, it's just not there. Kiffin's done an incredible job, but yeah, Ole Miss, their ceiling's kind of what it is: 9, 10, maybe 11 wins at max. They're probably not going to ever win an SEC title, even with Kiffin, but you never know. Never say never, but not likely. But I mean, again, with him having, Alabama and Ohio State and his, Final Four, you would think most likely he would go to one of those two. I will say though, Ohio State probably very recently has had more, I guess, slight advantage with tight ends. We haven't really had any noteworthy tight ends in a while. OJ Howard, I mean, a few years ago, I mean, like the tight end position is kind of an afterthought for us lately.
Oh man, like he'll be joining guys like, well, I mean, he wouldn't be able to play with Brody Dalton because like Brody Dalton's in his senior year for 2025. And yes, that is a name you're going to hear throughout the season is Brody Dalton. You're not hearing a lot of people talk about him yet, but you're going to hear people talk about Brody Dalton eventually. That I can promise you.
It would be good for us to really up our tight end game. I mean, the thing is that when you look at the Big Ten, teams like Wisconsin, Iowa, Penn State, Michigan, etc., they've had some really good tight ends. And their receiver game's not very good, but they've always had great tight ends. Alabama, like, our receivers have been excellent, our running backs have been excellent, but our tight end room, I mean, when I was a kid, we had a couple good ones, but like lately they've just been average at best. So to have a more dynamic tight end definitely helped the offense. I feel like the biggest thing really hurting Alabama with getting really good tight ends is because we don't run the ball as much anymore. So it's like that's why tight ends commit to those Big Ten schools, because of the fact they know that they're going to run the ball more. And maybe the offense is more tailor-made for them to have success. And that those schools have a pipeline of sending those guys to the NFL. We don't necessarily have that, so it'd be interesting. It just depends on whether, DeBoer can sell him on that and say, hey, we're going to use the tight ends more. Hopefully, if Brody Dalton has a good season for us at tight end, maybe that will really open up in the future for the tight end position to be a source of strength for us. But it just really hasn't been the last few years.
Oh, there we go. Here's another good one. Boom.
Yeah, he's good, man. His highlights are really good. I will say, like I've heard so many other football analysts say, though, these highlights, they only show the good. They don't show the bad. So, it is tough sometimes when you're watching these, clips to say, oh my gosh, this dude is a stud. And then you got countless other film where that guy doesn't work hard on a play, or his motor's not consistent. That's why you see sometimes they evaluate guys like that. But, I mean, judging by this guy's highlights, he looks fantastic. I mean, I remember we were watching that one running back in one of our recruiting videos, and the other team they were playing in the video was awful. Like, I mean, yeah, the guy was really good and all that, breaking tackles, but the defense against him was so poor that it's like, how much can you really judge this guy based off these highlights? Because you can tell the other team was bad.
Oh, here we go. Watch this play again. Knock him down. He's like, what?
Crazy.
He's like, what happened? He got all shook up. Oh, another one got all shook up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big dude, man. I mean, you wouldn't want him barreling down on you.
Oh, man. Here we go. Oh, man.
That's why you've heard commentators say in the past, it's much safer up here in the booth. Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
You're not getting annihilated like you would out on the field, man.
Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, well, he knocked him down. I hope we get this young man to come over to Alabama. That would be a humongous win. And Smoke Hines in the chat. Coach Smoke, how you doing tonight? And Godfather SC says, I am late. Sorry. Hello, everyone. No, we're sorry. We were late. Like, we're sorry to you, man. No worries. And, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm waiting it out for June 26th. I mean, like, the month of June is, like, really huge, apparently. Because you got, like, the revival of Phineas and Ferb. You got the...
That's the most important thing.
You got the big wins with Sam Utu coming over to Alabama on Monday. We did a video on that, so check that out, of course. And we got June 26th, where we're watching this young man make his announcement. Is he going to Illinois? Is he going to Ohio State, Ole Miss, or Alabama? Watch for Max Sutter. We might just do a live stream for that day, just like 10 minutes before his commitment starts. What do you think, chat? Want to see us do a live stream of that commitment day? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Like, I'll do one, Bear. Why don't we cross over with the other teams for that episode? Like that'd be.
Yeah, it would be really cool if you make that happen. That would be crazy. I will say I know why recruiting's big right now because it's the summer. You know, like a lot of these guys want to commit before their senior year. You know, they want to commit and already have it in their mind, like, hey, I'm going to play for this team, and then I can focus on my senior year of high school. That's what a lot of players do. I know that we've seen a lot of decommitments after that now that you've had with NIL, like, oh, I got a better offer. It's insane how this stuff happens these days. But that's why players commit right now. That's why. And plus, coaches are actively recruiting them and doing all these visits because they can. Whereas once the season starts, yeah, you still have some visits. You've seen guys like on campus for games. Like there's a game and there's like 3 or 4 5-stars on Ohio State's campus for a big game. That happens, but it's easier to do recruiting visits when it's not in season because the coach can be more locked in on it versus during the season when he's locked in on his team, trying to win the next game. So yeah, that's why you see a lot of commitments at this time.
For sure. And we're just looking forward to the Magic coming. I mean, like, cause like kind of like how you heard in the first episode of the Face for a Revival where they say, summer is starting now. Well, summer is here now in Tuscaloosa. It's right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we're back to take names in 2025 and then some. 2026 is definitely the year. We're looking to the rest of the 2020s.
You ever heard the song Right Now by Van Halen?
I think so.
Yeah, you probably heard it before. You kept saying Right Now. I kept reminding me of that song. But yeah, so it's not summer yet. I mean, theoretically, like it's a week away, but it does feel like summer because, man, like boy, oh boy, like you said, that heat wave, man, the humidity, man. Like that is what people in other parts of the country do not get when where we the part of the country we live, Jackson. The humidity is rough. Like out west, you'll have 110-degree days, but the humidity is not as bad. Humidity out here, man, it's nuts. So the heat wave, no fun, but definitely we're going to have a lot of fun over the summer as we prepare for the college football season, looking at these recruitments, looking at these commitments, hopefully to Alabama. And hopefully, like I said, preparing for the inevitable beatdown of Florida State that needs to occur in week 1. That game does not need to be close at all, or I'll have some big-time concerns with Alabama.
It's summer, man. Where do we begin? All begins by liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking on that notification bell to Alabama with the Voice of College Football so you never miss no video whatsoever. Stay
it's
tuned
the summer of '69.
There we go.
Man.
And we've got the call-in link in the chat for those who want to call in. And, you're welcome to call in because this is the 36th edition of the Alabama College Show, where we take your calls all right here on the Alabama channel at Alabama at the Voice of College Football. But, Jeffrey, I got to ask you, do you know somebody that can give us a good idea for Father's Day gift? Because it's only 3 days until Father's Day. We got to think of something.
I think Jackson's got the idea, and it comes from a book that all college football fans should read if they enjoy, especially 1990s.
There we go. Disputed
National Champions, College Football's Historical 1990s Reset by the one and only, the voice of college football himself, Mark Rogers. Absolutely. I mean, it's not Christmas anymore. We're halfway around the year for that, but any time is a good time to order the voice of college football's book, Disputed National Champions, for sure, and definitely for Father's Day. I mean, I'm sure the father in your life is a football fan, especially, like I mean, people of all ages love football, you know, but like I know more women like football now, I think, than they used to. But it's still like guys, like Father's Day, perfect time to order it for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean this is perfect, especially for Father's Day, and I mean it might as well be Christmas in July with Disputed National Champions, and it is the go-to book for all of college football
Just
because you
hope it
want
goes better than it did for Frosty in the movie.
I know, right? Oh man,
Got all melted after the 100th firework, man.
yep. But I could tell you this though. I think this doppelganger of Mark Rogers, well, I guess we can call him a clone or a doppelganger, but I think he can give us another idea for Father's Day.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
That's right. Shop on Amazon using the link to support the Voice of College Football. You don't need to buy the product display. It doesn't cost you a penny, and you get the same shopping experience. And just click on the link below, and you get that same shopping experience, especially for Father's Day, 4th of July, and Christmas in July. Because there's some of you that love Christmas so much that you're excited about it in the month of July. And this is the perfect way to celebrate it. All right here on the Voice of College Football and from Amazon. Well, while we wait for callers, apparently we see a Georgia Tech defensive back visiting Alabama. Does that mean Alabama Georgia Tech is opening up again? Ooh, there we go. Let's go. We don't have to wait another 4 years for this. And this young man's name is Jaden Terry. Now let's go ahead and take a look at him, shall we? And he is a 6'3", 175-pound cornerback. He's from Manchester, Georgia, goes to high school at Manchester, and says he's committed to Georgia Tech, but he is visiting Bama.
Well, this type of recruitment here to me screams the fact that he was at one time thought of to just be a decent player, right? And that's why he committed to Georgia Tech. Now he's starting to move up the ranks because you saw the other schools that were on that list. If you scroll back up, you saw the other schools that were on that list: Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Duke. You see, like that. That's not a gauntlet of schools, or Michigan State. He was getting decent offers. Now, though, Alabama's interested. Now these other schools are interested. Why? Because he's probably starting to get a lot better. And unfortunately, this is why Georgia Tech is not an elite football program, because they obviously can't keep good recruits. It sucks. I mean, I know he's still committed, but if he's visiting Alabama, he is not staying at Georgia Tech.
Well, I mean, Brent Key, I think, is going to do a magnificent job at Georgia Tech. He's obviously going to do a lot better than Jeff Collins. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to automatically. Oh yeah, I mean, Jeff Collins was poor. He was horrible. But I think he could get Georgia Tech to where Bobby Ross had him in maybe not 1990. I'm thinking more like Paul Johnson vibes, where like Bobby Dodd had him. Not saying you're not seeing a national title. Relax, no worries. But you'll see like ACC title or two from Brent Key, and I think you're gonna see him get to the Yellow Jackets to the playoffs.
Especially
And
if it
that-
expands
Oh yeah,
even more.
oh yeah. And there's Mr. Terry. He's watching like a hawk. Oh,
I
there we
do
go.
always hate it when guys commit to a school though, and then they decommit. Because I don't know if you saw, if Austin's still in the chat, but there was a linebacker that was committed to Louisville. He just
Ooh.
decommitted and he went to Indiana.
Ooh.
Same thing happened. Like, you know,
Ooh. Uh-oh. The North
is
Carolina weather's
interested in me
been...
now. Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, like I was saying, he was committed to Louisville, but then it's like, oh, Indiana is now interested in him, and now he's committed to IU. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way the game goes, man.
Well, some people they kind of like that drama, which that's what we're here covering. We're here covering the drama. So,
That dude just fell over.
oh yeah,
Look
he's
at him
like,
trotting back.
he's not even trying. Like that guy's just, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not chasing this guy down. Sorry, you're on your own. Like,
I wonder how many offers he has.
9. Little to mid, but here's Mr. Terry.
Maybe Mary Mac.
Mr. Terry's watching. Oh, there we go. Yep, nope.
Walled him up. Yeah, I mean, he looks really good. Like I said, hate it for Georgia Tech, but just the way it is, it looks like again, if Alabama is interested in him, and I'm sure other schools are too, then he's going to commit to a bigger school. I mean, he looks really talented.
If he goes to Georgia Tech, if he stays there, we just ask him to do one solid for us. Beat the Georgia Bulldogs and show people that the Georgia Tech rivalry still matters in the heart of college football.
Georgia Tech should have won last year.
I know, right?
Haynes King got targeted.
Yep.
And I don't care. They wanted Georgia to win for them to get in the playoffs. I don't care what people say. I don't care. Georgia Tech should have won. That was their game. And it is what it is. I agree. Yeah. That rivalry, it is good. You know, clean old-fashioned hate. It is good. But the problem is that Tech's been bad. And Georgia got a lot better, but now Tech is getting better. So, you know.
And the last time Georgia Tech won in Atlanta against Georgia was in 1999. Their last win in Atlanta, Georgia against the Georgia Bulldogs is the same age as SpongeBob SquarePants. We kid you not. The 4 wins that have happened against Georgia in the 21st century have all been in Athens. 2000, 2008, 2016, and 2014.
Wow. That's no. Should have been last year.
Oh, it's coming. I think you're going to see Georgia Tech beat Georgia this year or next season.
Don't get me wrong. I would be perfectly okay with that.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, I think, like, Brent Key is giving those Josh Heupel vibes at Tennessee. Like, Josh Heupel's doing an incredible job at Tennessee. Now, even though me personally, I'm not particularly too crazy about Tennessee, you never see me giving a lot of crap about Heupel.
Oh, yeah. You're not a Tennessee fan. I don't blame you. I mean, there are arch rivals for one.
Yeah.
You know.
But Heupel got that Bobby Hill riz. So, I mean, that's why I can't really give him crap for that.
The fact that Bobby Hill's got riz is beyond me. I mean, it's insane. But, you know, whatever works, man. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm a Bama fan through and through, but I mean, I've got some relatives that live in that way in Tennessee, you know, so it's like I can't hate them, you know, like most Bama fans hate them, but still, though, man, like their fans kind of rough, man.
Oh yeah,
their fans are just kind of rough. I mean, there's a few people that, you know, I've talked to some Vols fans online. Some of them are all right, but a lot of them are crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dang it, Bobby. Man, you remember that one episode where Bobby got gout in his feet?
Oh yeah.
Remember that one? Yeah, he couldn't do the dance. He couldn't do the dance, man, with Connie because of the fact that he got gout in his feet. He's eating all the meats, dude.
But
that one cracked me up, man. Then the other one where he was playing with those ants, dude. I was like, what in the man? Bobby was crazy. He was crazy.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it's like Josh Heupel got the Bobby Hill Riz, and I'm thinking he's probably going to pass it on over to Brent Key when we see Tennessee and Georgia Tech play each other in the home and home series. Because it's going to be like, I mean, we're going to beat you, but I'm going to pass over a little bit of this Bobby Hill Riz to you, and we're going to make you more likable. So,
oh
yeah, like Brent Key, if he can hang on to Terry, this will be a huge win for the Yellow Jackets. Humongous win. And he's going to be the guy that gets Georgia Tech ending that ACC title drought. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to stay committed. But honestly, for Georgia Tech fans, I kind of hope he does for their sake, but I don't see it. He's going to come to Alabama probably. And if he does, great for us. Just sucks. We already stole Jahmyr Gibbs from him.
I want him to come. Exactly. Like, I mean, I want him to come to Bama, but I mean, if he has to stay anywhere, I'm glad it'll be Georgia Tech.
Yeah, absolutely. No Georgia. Stay at Georgia Tech, and we'll definitely support.
No Tennessee, Auburn.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, man. I mean, I don't hate Tennessee as much as other Alabama fans do, because again, I have some reasoning, but like I said, man. I mean, just looking at their fan base at large and everything. I mean, I'm a Bama fan through and through. You just can't like them though. I can't, even though I got relatives there, and some of them are Tennessee fans. Some of them are. I mean, most of my family they're Bama fans, but you got that contingency, You got those few. You have anybody in your family tree, Jackson, that's not a Bama fan, or are they all Bama fans? Do you have anybody?
Well, my dad, the IT guy, is an Auburn man. My grandmother, my dad's side of the family, is an Auburn fan. I've got a few Auburn fans.
Wow.
And I don't know. I know a few people that are Tennessee fans, like besides people at the Voice of College Football, of course.
That's crazy. I mean, for me, like most are Bama, a couple Tennessee, and I think there's like one that likes Ole Miss and one that likes Arkansas. So yeah, like it's crazy. But I mean, I gotta go with the majority here, man. Like you don't want to be that odd man out. Like, oh man, I like Auburn. Like, dude, it would be insane. Like, or I like Mississippi State. Like, no, like. I mean, the ones that do like the teams they do, it's understandable. Like they have their reasons, like I have the reasons I do for liking teams. But yeah, Alabama, man. I mean, I've been watching them since I was a kid. They're always going to be my favorite team. So no matter what, a couple of family members like, it's just no way. I can't believe your dad's an Auburn guy though. That's crazy. Love IT guy. He's awesome. I can't believe he's an Auburn fan. Inside the Huddle says, Jeffrey, you catch some sun on vacation. Is it noticeable?
I don't know.
Is that just a joke question?
I think it's a joke question, but that's our buddy Lucas Hill. For those who don't know, he has debuted South Carolina Live last night, so you want to go check it out for sure. And we've got a new host who's going to be joining the Voice of College Football real soon. Which team is that exactly? I think maybe he can tell us. The one and only Christian Ballard from Ballard Sports Media. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Roll Tide, guys. Jackson, Jeffrey, how are you?
We're doing pretty good. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing great. Yeah, you mentioned hosting here at the Voice of College Football. Y'all go check out the Mississippi State channel. Thankful, all glory to God first, but of course, Mark Rogers, who put this together, and giving me the opportunity. I'm looking forward to it. But wanted to talk tonight, man. Just talk up some football. We're getting close, and I wanted to get y'all's thoughts. Are you more confident when you look at the defensive side? More confident in the guys up front this next season, or what we have on the back end and the secondary? What do you think?
I'm more confident in our defense so far. I mean, I'm confident in our offense, but the defense is something I'm really more confident in.
I would
Jeff?
probably go with D line. The secondary's still a little sketchy. I mean, it's. I think it's gonna be better, but
Right.
I would say D line.
No, I got you. I mean, yeah, I think I'm always confident in our defensive front more so than the secondary. I mean, there's not it never lacks talent at really any position. I mean, guys want to come to Bama, they want to play. What it probably lacks though is when the young guys have to step up and there's not that leadership role, and guys got to be leaders this year. And I don't have like the rosters pulled up. One guy though, I'll point out that I want to see more of this year. I saw him get some action at A-Day, not this year, but the previous year. And I believe he's still on our roster. You can correct me, but Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., even though he was a 3-star recruit, his dad's a legend. That doesn't mean too much, but other than you want to see how his son transfers on the field. But I look at guys like that out there. How's he going to play in the secondary? Does he get a role? Trying to think who else we got. I think Tim Keenan came back on defensive line, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So we got some good guys up front, too. A lot of great depth, a lot of great talent. And, to Florida State, y'all were terrible last year, but we're ready.
Oh, I'm ready for Florida State. I'm so excited for kickoff.
We need a good, just beat down like that after the way our season ended last year. The Michigan loss, the Oklahoma loss, just absolutely terrible performances. Like, we need to go out there and show the college football world why, like, Alabama is what it is. Like, Saban might be gone, but we can still beat down a bad team. Because that's what we should have done against Oklahoma. They were not good.
That's true. I mean, now they were, I will say, those teams were not as bad as Florida State last year.
No, absolutely not.
But they were still the teams that a Nick Saban-led Alabama would have, I'm not saying they would have hung 50 points or nothing, but they wouldn't have lost,
Right.
And that's what I want to see. Like, I'll say this. If Florida State beats us week 1, best case scenario for Alabama fans is that Florida State is actually back to being relevant and actually has something going for them. That's our best case scenario, because otherwise we drop an egg in Tallahassee and Florida State's mediocre, winning 4 or 5 games like last year. Or they went 2-10, but whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, this game, I think, is more important than a lot of Alabama fans give credit for coming into this year because, again, our season last year was by far our worst since, 08. It was bad. The Georgia win was really the only thing that even saved the season because other than that game, the rest of the year we kind of sucked the vast majority of the time. I mean, the more I look back at last year, because I've gone back and looked at some of the games and the highlights, we were not good at all.
Yeah.
And that Georgia first half was like, that was the ceiling of the team last year, and you only saw it for 2 halves against our best opponent that we played, which is hilarious, because, if they had played like that all year, we could have been 11-1, 12-0 again, but we weren't because our consistency was not there. Saban being there to always, I guess, guide the team and make them play at their best, it just wasn't there. That's what we need to see from DeBoer next year. That's why we can't have a game against Florida State, even if we win, where it's like a nail biter, because we know
Right.
what Florida State's going to be. They're going to be at best 7-5, 8-4. At best, at very best, they're going to be an average team. And we lost 3 games last year to average teams. Michigan was above average, especially on defense, but still pretty average. And Oklahoma and Vandy were average. They were average teams. No reason we should have lost those games. So the Florida State game needs to be an utter destruction, just a beatdown. Because it'll be like, hey, that gap is still there. We're still way above these teams. We're still capable of winning by a lot against those type of teams. If the game's close or we lose, I know it's week 1 and you're not always going to play your best. I've seen that argument too, but I don't agree in this scenario. Florida State is not a great football team, and they're not going to be this year. They're going to be better than last year, but they're not going to be good. And the game should not be close.
No, I agree with you. I think, it's the only thing I can say to Florida State is if they pull off an upset at home, they better go big or go home, because that, there shouldn't be an excuse for Alabama. I don't care who the coach is, Saban, the Bear, the Boar. I don't care. I mean, the standard is to win and compete for championships. But also, if at first you don't make it or succeed, you have to get better the next year. Well, we got this player and that player, and it's kind of going to be rebuilding because we got a new quarterback. I don't care. I don't want to hear that. We got to get better this year. But I'll let you guys go here. Thank you so much, Jackson. Appreciate you, buddy. And also, let me shout this out. All glory to God above for this, above all else. But Mark Rogers, I'm going to promote this. Y'all tune in Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, Mississippi State Live with yours truly.
All righty, man. We'll be looking
Can't wait
forward
for
to
it.
it. Monday's
Thanks,
a
guys.
huge lineup. Mississippi State Live, Crimson Tide Live, Scarlet Knights Live, much more. Tune in for more. We appreciate the call in, Christian.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Oh, man, that's a pretty good call. And
Absolutely.
we got some Mississippi State representation. So now that's left is Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Arkansas. I guess that's 3. Yeah, we'll get figured out. But we got a $1.99 super chat from the Godfather of the SC. We appreciate it very much. And he says $1.99 for damn it, Bobby.
I love it, man. I love it.
Oh man, it's like oh man, it's like we appreciate the super chat contribution, Godfather. Yes, they do.
They do. I mean, you've heard them bells. You've heard those bells. They give people seizures, remember?
I know, right? But the super chat contribution is appreciated as always. And again, if you want us to see your comments or questions, put super chat in below and we will read it out loud for all of you. Yeah, I mean, like Mississippi State. This time I said the Ruby Dreher family from Ole Miss at the Voice of College Football and, production coordinator for College Game Day. When I had her on a Jack Sane episode a few months back, I told her that I've kind of looked at Mississippi State as like the Detroit Lions of the SEC. Here's why. Because they never really have anything good. And when they have something good, it's usually at bad timing. Case in point, the last time, or basically the only time they won the SEC, 1941. What's happening a week or so afterwards? Pearl Harbor's happening. And it's like nobody's talking about them, right? Mississippi State, 2014. That's all everybody's talking about. That's pretty much it. You got Mullen, and now it's kind of like...
Yeah, Mike Leach made them interesting.
Right?
They were fun to watch, and then he passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, now they suck again. I mean, when they hired the DC man, Arnett, right? They hired that guy, and it's they fired him after 1 year. I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, they're in rough shape.
Ugh, it's a disaster over there.
Mississippi State, they're in rough shape.
Well, they're in such rough shape that they made Jeffrey face freeze for about half.
Yeah. They way to go, Cowbell. you seizured my screen. Yeah.
Oh man, that's too funny. Oh man, but you know what's even weirder? Alabama not playing Mississippi State in 2024 or 2025.
Well, see, I mean, that's because the West is gone. You know, when you had the divisions, we played them every year. Now they're gone, so you know you're gonna have years where you don't play a team. It's just so weird to have a conference, right? That's so large that you can go years without playing a team in your conference. It's kind of messed up, honestly.
Oh yeah. So it's the first time, like last season was the first time since 1947 that we didn't play Mississippi State. But also this season will be the first time in consecutive seasons that the Alabama Crimson Tide has not played in consecutive years since 1937, 1938. We were in the tail end of the Great Depression at that time, and Donald Duck hasn't had his blue hat on yet. He was still wearing that white hat. Had to throw in that little fat toy there.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Steamboat Willie.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Man. Hey, Alabama's first national title is much older than Steamboat Willie.
I'm sure. Older than Oswald the Rabbit.
I think they're like twins. I'm not sure.
Yeah, twins.
But what a dumb move by Disney to trade away Al Michaels for Oswald. Yeah, older than Oswald Lucky Rabbit by 2 years. 2 years.
Unreal, dude. Unreal. Oh man, that's crazy.
Oh man, well we got the call-in link in the chat, so if you want to come on in and give a call, come on in. Oh man, well if I could control myself a little bit, I'm going to tell you about the magic that the Voice College Football website is creating. Oh my god, here we go. Mandela Effect. Yep, and we are 23 minutes away from Jeffrey's time zone hitting midnight, which means 71 days until week 0 when it cracks midnight. Oh man. But of course, you got the Voice of College Football website where you had the debut of South Carolina Live to our guy Lucas Hill inside the huddle. I can tell you right now, he did a magnificent job. And you got the All-In show, North Carolina Live, Illinois Live, Texas A&M Live, Miami Live, Florida Live, and much, much more, all right there. And you got the team of writers on the Voice College Football, John Diamo, Ben, Alec Keyser, Zoe Bentler, Christopher Shepard, Bobby Murphy, Bryce Yazdia. I need to ask him about his last name if I meet him.
Sounds good to me.
But got a great writing team, and there's the host list. You got Andy Adair. You got, there we go, Christian Belt, who called in tonight. Debuting Mississippi State Live, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time. And you got Frank Fear from the Mountaineer Locker Room, Grant Shashir on LSU Live. Jordan Binkley, Jordan Bowman, Josh Moeller doing the Oklahoma College Show and Oklahoma Sooners Live. Lucas Hill debuting South Carolina Live on the Voice of College Football channel for South Carolina. Matthew Lennox. Now, you want to talk about a busy guy. That guy is busy as hell. Because he works at Blogging with the Boys at SB Nation for the Dallas Cowboys, Florida State Wire, and he does Florida State Live. But dude knows his stuff, I tell you what. He knows his stuff, that is for sure. And you got Myron McRae and Joel Rice. I mean, if you want a good time when watching North Carolina live, you're in for a good time when watching those guys because like they're always laughing and cheering and just having so much fun. It's just a fun time. It feels like a party when I'm watching North Carolina live. And you got Ruby Dreyer Finley, but from behind the scenes on College Game Day, creating that magic with Leanne Herring and Mark Rogers on Ole Miss Live Wednesday afternoons. I can tell you, it's always a fun one. And you got Shane, who's going to have a co-host real soon for West Virginia Live, that we promise you. And you got Tiger Paul Craven, Tyler Whitfield, Zach Remulus, Tucker Harlan, TJ Ronan, the operations manager for the Voice of College Football. And I could tell you all your favorite hosts for each of these teams are all right here at the Voice of College Football. And here's the show lineup. You got it all. You got your favorite teams, and they're all there. If your favorite team is not here on the show list or on the channel list, we assure you we are getting it added. We promise you that. We're not going to leave your favorite team in the dust. Don't you worry. And there's the forum discussions with the teams, the conferences, all of it, all right here. And you got the news articles. Let's go ahead and pull it up. See, there you go. Which Big Ten QB has the most approved? TJ says Drew Alar. SG1 says Drew Alar. Mark Rogers says Drew Alar. Matt Zim. Oh, there you go. He's got Dante Moore. He's in the minority on that list. That's a good list right there. But I could tell you, you're going to want all this, all right here on the Voice of College Football website. We are getting closer and closer to kickoff. 72 days until week 0. But really, it's 79 days until the start of the Alabama Crimson Tide for 2025 against the Florida State Seminoles. Don't miss it. All righty, so we've got the call-in link all right here in the chat. So if you want to call in, it's all right there. Well, I got to ask you, what did you get your Lindy's magazine this week? Or
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Well, so I see Alabama is ranked. Hey, oh, and by the way, roll tide, roll, Tay-Tac, roll tide, roll. Alabama's ranked 8th. I'm cool with that, right? I mean, like, I really don't care where you put Alabama. I really don't care.
As long like if they were 131st, you probably would, but
oh yeah. But I'm looking at Lindy's, right? And I buy the magazine. The delivery comes Monday. I'm looking at the rankings, top 25 pets from Lindy's, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this will be interesting. And I see, guess who's number 5? Guess.
Penn State.
No.
Notre Dame.
No, Notre Dame is below this team. Here we go. Let me see if I could
Oregon?
download it. Nope. I'm going to see if I can download this little GIF. Hold on.
It's not Georgia, is it?
Here we go. Let me see if I can download this little GIF. Hold on. I think I've got it. Yep. Here we go. It's come on. Quit. There we go. It's this moron. It's this team. And the moron who's leading them. Oh. There we go.
Oh my Lord. Are you kidding me right now? The fake Cajun Burger King. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me right now? They actually have LSU fit.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm sorry. You gotta be smoking something, dude. No. You know how dumb that looks? I mean, no. Was Indiana ranked?
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. Not valid.
31st.
Not valid. Not valid. Indiana should be ranked in the top 25, and I guarantee you that when Mark Rogers does the top 25, it actually makes sense. Indiana will be there.
He's not going to have LSU at 5th. That's
LSU is going to be all the way down and out of the top 25. That actually makes sense.
Oh, man. It's like, okay. Like, Brian Kelly's not a moron, but he's not the brightest bulb in the world. I'll just put it that way.
Well, I mean, again, the fake Cajun, you know, like that just didn't work, man. It just did not work.
Don't do the fake voice. That's not.
I mean,
good.
the thing is that, you know, people say fake it till you make it. Like, if you do not have a Southern accent and you fake a Southern accent, it takes years of training to fake an accent. You know, like if you go over to Britain, you know, like, we're not British, right? But we go over to Britain and we live over there for 20 years. All right. You know, guess what? You listen to them talk. Maybe you can pick up on it, you know, the tea and the biscuits or whatever, man. I don't know. Like maybe you'll start sounding British. I don't know, man. I'm just saying that, like, it takes a long time to, like, get an accent right, I guess. I mean, you have people that are voice actors, you know, like Mel Block, that voiced the Looney Tunes characters, Man of a Thousand Voices.
Dude's a genius, man.
Yeah, like, you know, some people just have that ability. But, man, Brian Kelly did not. He just did not, man. I mean, all I know is I just feel like it's easier to talk the way that you normally talk versus altering it. I mean, I do like, you know, doing accents like cartoon characters or something like that. I think that's funny, you know, but you know, you're not trying to get it completely right. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, it is kind of cool if you know how to do different accents. Like, if I could really pull off a British accent, I would. I mean, I usually do the Jersey accent for some reason. Like, what are you doing? You know, I don't know. Like I can do the Jersey accent better than a British accent, but like, I'm not Jersey. I'm a Southern guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's funny, but when you massively fail at it, like Brian Kelly did, it's just a bad look, man. You better know how to do it. Like, if you're not Southern and you want to fake an accent like that, you know, like you better know how to do it before you do it.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. And no, LSU is not 5th. But if you want to be ranked 5th, earn it. That's
if you want to be ranked 5th, you actually have to be good. We weren't good last year. That's why we weren't 5th.
There you go. I mean, it's like, I'll be nice. I'll be nicer to Brian Kelly if LSU wins a playoff game. If LSU gets to the Natty and actually wins it all under Brian Kelly, I'll be really nice to him. Like, you'll notice it for sure. Because I know I can act like a diphthong towards him, but it's for good reason too.
You're giving constructive criticism. That if Brian Kelly is listening, you'd hope, you know, that it would help. Most likely he's not listening, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, you're giving constructive criticism. I mean, being a college football coach ain't easy, but when you got that many resources and you've got that much experience as he does, you would think that you do a little bit better. Changing the subject for a second, Jackson, I've been reading the chat here in the last few minutes. I have to ask you, what are your thoughts on acting your age? What are your thoughts on that?
You should act your age. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's fair. It's fair. You know, I feel like, you know, some people that are young and they try to act older, I'm like, don't grow up. You know, like keep where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
There is gonna be that one older dude or that one older woman that's like pressuring you to grow up a little bit, but
don't do it. Like,
no.
You don't want to grow up, man. Like everyone tells you, like when you're a kid, enjoy being a kid. But then the reversal though, like you're an adult, you're like older, but then you act like a kid. My thing with that, I feel like there's two ways acting like a kid or acting way younger than your age. There's a positive way and a negative way. A positive way is like, we do that sometimes when we're talking about Phineas and Ferb and SpongeBob, you know, those are kids shows. Those are for 7-year-olds, but we love watching it still. We enjoy making jokes about it. You know, I mean, so that's acting like a kid as an adult. We're both adults here, but that's acting like a kid in a positive way. Acting like a kid in a negative way is when you're an adult and out in the real world and you just completely clowning around.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't take anything seriously at all. Nothing matters. You know, you can be a goof.
Like if you're Bert Kreischer, where it's like you don't even open your own mail, and you're like what 50-something years old, and you're talking about like all you talk about is how you're the machine or how drunk you get and how you're not an alcoholic, but you get drunk a lot, and how you get often like you get like surprised when you open your own Christmas gifts that you buy. It's like, oh my god. It's like, my god. It's just it's good grief. Like, that's not acting your age. That's not being grown up. But I mean, if you want to act a fool and, you know, do your little drinking or whatever, that's fine. But just make sure you're not married or living with someone. Just like live by yourself if you're doing that. Like, if you want to act a fool, fine, but just make sure that you don't have kids. Because
all I know is folks, Jackson's giving great advice here, by the way. You know, for you single men out there, you know, you don't want to. You do not want to try to settle down, and you're still acting like a complete moron. You know,
exactly.
It's not gonna happen. Like, I mean, again, there is a difference between occasionally goofing off and then just that's your entire personality still. You know, you're 40 years old, but you act like you're 16. You know, you're not. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. I mean, me and Jackson aren't even nowhere near that old, but like I can even tell you that's not gonna work. You know, it's just not gonna work.
I mean, it's just so funny though. Is like people that don't know us personally is like I know like one or two people were like, I thought you were older, right? And you've had people say like, he looks 14, he looks 16. Yeah. That's for people that don't know you personally.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm fine with that. I think it's great. You know, I think it's hilarious. I mean, I'd rather look 14 than 35. You know, so I'll take it. But I mean, the thing is, you know, even though I still like to have fun. I still like to, you know, enjoy life and you know, crack jokes, watch cartoons, you know. It's just, again, it can't be your entire identity anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the big thing that I can, you know, I'm not an expert. Okay. I'm not an expert psychologist or, you know, expert really, you know, in anything of that nature. But all I know is that just for people out there that don't get acting your age, you don't have to, you know, act like if you're like 65 years old, you don't have to act like an old person like that and, you know, sip tea and knit and all that. If you want to still have fun, you can, but there are limits.
Well, we heard like one person in the chat saying like, you know, they're made fun for like, look, I live with my family. Like, if it makes you feel better, it's like I do. It's like I live with my but you know, it's like some people will get that vibe of like, oh, you live with your parents, you're automatically bumming off other people that you care about. It's like that's not the case. That it's like and some people that don't know you, they will give you that bad vibe, but that's because they don't know you personally, you know.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, like, not everybody that lives with a relative is like Oscar from Hey Arnold. But that dude's a bum. It's like I'm working like 2 jobs. It's like I do not want to be a bum like that dude.
No. I mean, my thing is I feel like in the past, in the 80s, 90s, 70s, whatever, people that live with their parents that were older, they typically were bums. But now, I mean, if people have paid any attention to the economy, and like I'm not getting political here, I'm not. But if anybody look at the economy, man, stuff's not cheap.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why a lot of people, still would live with their parents. And they probably work full-time jobs. And I mean, there are still bums out there, don't get me wrong. But there are people that work full-time jobs or are working 2 jobs that still happen to live with their parents. Plus, you have to realize people are getting married later than ever before. If you look back in the 80s, people were getting married at 22, 21. Heck, back in before the World War II, and back in like the Great Depression, people used to get married at 16. Like, that don't happen anymore. So if you're getting married at like 30 and it's one income, right? Like if you're just your own income, living out on your own is not easy. So calling people a bum automatically for living with their parents when you work a full-time job or you're working 2 jobs or you're going to school and you're working, that's just wrong. Flat out wrong. Like you said, people don't need to make assumptions on that stuff. If you know someone personally and you know they are a bum, that's completely different versus, someone that you don't know anything about and you just see that guy like, oh, he's a bum because this, and this, just perceived notions that you will have about a person. But that's just human nature to assume. But I just wanted to bring up the age thing because I thought it was an interesting discussion that they were having in the chat. And like I said, no matter how old I get, and I'm sure you as well, Jackson, I'm always going to be a kid inside. Like SpongeBob said in the movie, like in the first movie, being a kid inside. Like that, you don't want to ever lose that. But you also have to grow up too. You have to be responsible. You have to take care of yourself. And if you have, a wife and kids, them as well. You have to do those things, but you can still be a kid inside. But you just can't be, a self-centered jerk like Oscar.
Nope.
That is great advice. I sound like I'm like a psychologist here. I'm not. I'm just hopefully giving good advice.
Oscar's kind of like, you want to do good. That's me helping. But anyway, we've got a legendary caller and the real MVP coming in hot. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing well. I didn't realize we were talking about Patrick Starr all day and being bums, but you never know what you get on this channel.
I know, Darrell. I know.
Well, the chat got us talking, but it's going to get to 1 minute left, and you're going to hear the countdown.
I got you. We could talk about the housing prices or college football. I don't care what we talk about, to be honest with you. Jeffrey, I haven't heard your thoughts on the 5+11 model versus the 4-4-2-2-1-3. So just give me your quick thoughts, please.
I mean, honestly, I feel like all of this expansion in these systems they're kind of broken. I mean, the 4-4-1-3, all that, man. I mean, that just sounds dumb. I mean, the 5 and 11, like from my understanding, I haven't really looked much into it because I haven't really had a lot of time to check into much of that, but. From what I understand, it's about letting the 5 champions still, right? And then the 11 at-larges. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, now they're not doing it though. They're not doing it where it's 1 through 5. The top 5 are the champions, right? Like it's where you finish.
Correct. It's still straight seating.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. I guess.
Here we go.
Mostly.
And what are your thoughts on the 4-4-2-2-1-3?
How is that?
Hold on, gentlemen.
That's where they're only allowing like a certain amount of teams from each league in. Is that correct?
Correct. 4 4 SEC, 4 Big 10, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12.
Hold your thoughts, gentlemen, because we are officially at midnight because it is in Jeffrey's time zone because it's 71 days until week 0 of the 2025 college football season, 76 days till week 1, 77 days till Auburn, Baylor, and Colorado, Georgia Tech, 78 days till week 1 Saturday, 79 days till Virginia Tech, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Miami, and 80 days until the start of the Bill Belichick era in Chapel Hill between North Carolina and TCU. Continue with your thoughts, gentlemen.
Allegedly, the Bill Belichick era is going to begin in 80 days. I'm not sure if he's going to make it. We need to put an allegedly before that, but yeah, it's 4 SEC, 4 Big 10, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12, 1 Group of 5, and 3 Big 10. I don't know how you don't memorize this, Jeffrey. It seems pretty common knowledge. It's not confusing at all. Like, it should be something that everybody just intuitively understands.
Oh, man. Jeffrey face frames again tonight. Oh, my God.
That's a perfect freeze frame for his level of confusion delirious from that comment. Of
course. Of course. My computer loves to face freeze at the greatest moments right there. I appreciate that, computer and the internet. I will say, that you laying it out. My issue with that system is the fact that, again, it all stems back to the 12 system we just had, and where the teams aren't always going to be deserving. And when you had the system last year where the ones at the top, the champions were getting the automatic top 4, that was dumb because they didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve to have Arizona State and Boise State up there. They just didn't, because they weren't the 3rd and 4th best teams in the country. But then when you are having the system where 2 from the ACC, all that kind of stuff is in, what if there's only 1 good ACC team? And then the rest of the league is hot trash.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Well, apparently you can. I mean, we have some trash cans noses, SMU, Boise State, Arizona State make the playoffs. So, honestly, why not have some irrelevant ACC team like Virginia, Pitt, or North Carolina?
Bill Belichick finished 8-4 and 6-2 in the ACC. They're the 2nd best team in the conference. Let's let them in the playoff. And I'm a Carolina fan, but no, you can't do this. You cannot do this.
Well, wait, Jeffrey, if we have the 5+11 model, I can't wait for the day. And this is going to happen. 7-5 teams are going to make the playoffs. I can't wait for that day. You're going to have 7-5 SEC team that's like 8th in their conference make the playoffs. Isn't that going to be so exciting? Isn't everybody clamoring for Texas A&M or Missouri to have a chance to win the national championship?
Yeah,
and
like you said,
all clamoring
for the 80th time, like you said, they have a chance to win the national title. They have 0 chance to win the national title.
No. It's 0.0000001, okay? You forgot about that 1, okay? It's not an absolute 0. It's a relative 0. I mean, there's still, you have played enough multiverse scenarios. Eventually, they're going to win it, okay? Just got to keep rolling those dice, man. Eventually, that number's going to come up.
Player for Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan, all these teams, their ACLs blow out at the exact same time. Yeah, Missouri can win it all. Other than that, it's not happening.
Fair enough. Now, let me add a wrinkle to the 442213. And yes, I'm going to use that full name just to annoy everybody because it's stupid the entire time. The playing games they're doing for the Big 12 and ACC under that model is you would have 3 play 2 and 4 play 1, and those 2 winners would go to the playoff. Wouldn't that be exciting? And then you would have 6 and 3 in the SEC Big 10 and 4 and 5 to play, and those 2 teams would get into the playoffs. Isn't that exciting?
Wait a minute. Okay, that completely makes the regular season irrelevant.
Well, no. That doesn't matter, Jeffrey. That doesn't matter. We need playoffs. Playoffs. Everything is about playoffs.
I'm sick and tired of the playoffs. I don't even care about making the playoffs.
Playoffs, Jeffrey. It's about playoffs. We're going to be talking week 0, and we're going to be talking about how Iowa State, Kansas State impacts the playoff race, okay?
The thing with the playoffs were cool when it was an exclusive thing. When you had to be elite to make it. And now you want everybody to make it that don't deserve to make it. This isn't basketball. We've explained this a billion times. I'm not explaining it again. I know me and you agreed, Darrell. I agree. I just don't understand why these people, these same people that were all in favor of expansion, all these people that were in favor of realignment, can justify a system where you allow a crap team from a crap.
Oh, it face froze again.
No, he's gonna
league
but,
now that their good teams are going to playoffs. I don't understand. I don't get that.
I don't get it either. But Jeffrey, aren't you excited for who was the sixth best team in the Big Ten? Aren't you excited that Iowa has a chance to make the playoffs 8-4?
I
Aren't
will
you
never
excited?
be excited, Darrell, for Iowa to have a chance at anything.
At
Because
8-4, you don't
Iowa
want
does
them
the
to be a
same thing
Cinderella.
every
They could
year.
beat
I was
Ohio
sick of the
State.
Big Ten West because Iowa would win that. It's like, we have a shot to beat Ohio State in the championship game. 52-0. Okay, yeah, Iowa has zero chance in heck of doing anything ever. Okay, Iowa, they're the most mid program in the history of mid. They go 8-4 every year. They are nothing. Oh my gosh, they expand to 16. Oh, Iowa's going to get it. No one cares because they're going to lose 50-0 in the first round. Iowa is nothing, man. They are nothing. Their fans know that. That's why. That is why they love the fact that, we've been in the top 25 every year for 12 years. Yeah, because you're 24th. That's it. And you were in the West. You were playing Purdue. You were playing Minnesota. You were playing Northwestern. They're no good. You're just a little bit better than them. Oh, we beat Minnesota 16-13. Oh my gosh, we can beat Georgia. No. Iowa does not need to be discussed in anything. So, yeah, that system is stupid because, yeah, Iowa would finish 6th in the league. Oh, yeah, and they find a way to beat Illinois 9-8 in some stupid round game, and then they
Working
make
9-8, ladies and gentlemen. Working 9-8.
I don't know, man. I mean, again, I'm sorry for the outburst, but this playoff junk is a joke because you do not need Iowa and Missouri in the playoffs. You just don't. I mean, again, this isn't basketball.
If
These
you're gonna have
teams are
Missouri,
mid. They're
in the
not
playoff-
great.
If you're gonna have Missouri in the playoffs, just have them play Kansas or play like an old rival from the old
All
days.
you had to do is just keep it the way it was. 4-team playoff, the elite of the elite make it, and then the bowl games. That's it. Just leave it like that, but they couldn't do that because, guess what? Money, 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 money. It's all about money. I mean, Mr. Krabs ain't even that greedy, folks. He's not even that greedy. I mean, this is sick, man. I mean, like you said, week 0, and they already have playoff match.
And Mr. Krabs sold SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents.
I mean, it's all about money. It is. I don't care about the playoffs in week 0.
It's great for money. Of course I
No,
will.
but Jeffrey, at week 0, somebody is going to call into the Mark Rogers show, or you're going to hear some Big 12 fan talk about, Iowa State beat Kansas State 13-7. This has a massive implications for the playoff race because it's a 2-game separator. You know that's going to happen. You know that's going to happen in week 0. Not even August. It's not even going to be September. It's going to be in August that we're talking playoffs, Jeffrey. Isn't this what you wanted? Playoffs galore. Every corner. How does this impact the playoff race? How does this affect the conference standings that impact the playoffs? Isn't that what everybody wanted when expanding it? How come everybody's complaining? All these people was coming here saying, this playoff expansion is going to be so great. This all is going to make it to where more opportunities. Now it's just playoffs. Playoffs. That's all I hear about, playoffs.
I know. It's so brain dead, man. People get stuck on things, right? They get stuck on things, and that's what dominates the attention. Typically, though, in social media world, that lasts for 24 hours, and then it moves to something else. The playoffs, obviously, is not ever going away because ever since they instituted the daggum thing back in 2014, we've been talking about expansion even back then, and everybody's just become obsessed with it. And like I said, that's why the players don't play in the bowl games. It's like, we didn't make playoffs. It's all that matters. That's what ESPN says. That's just kind of how that works. It's stupid. I don't agree with it. My thing is that it's just, again, I've said this about 9 billion times, and it's just nauseating. All these people that complained about Indiana and SMU making the playoffs are the same people that were in favor of expansion. And it's like, you cannot be in favor of expansion, but then get mad that these teams are making the playoffs. They would have never made the playoffs if you had left it at 4 teams. Now that you're going to expand to 16, you're going to get even crappier teams into the playoffs. It's not that hard to understand. The more that you allow in, okay, the more people that you allow in, it just lessens the value of it. It dampers the value and significance of it. Look at a car. Okay, there's a reason why certain like cars, like a Bugatti, they make 200 of them. All right, if you made 1 million of that same car, it would be worth less. It just would. It's the same car with the same horsepower, the same exhaust tubes, the same freaking wings on the back of the car. The same car would be worth less if they made more of them. But they only make 200 of them because of the fact that it has to be as exclusive as possible. That's why when you made a 4-team playoff, it was so cool. Oh my gosh, we made the playoffs. We were only 4 of 128 teams, now 137, or how many football teams there are, because they keep adding ones every year. 4 out of how many to make the playoffs? Now it's, we're 16 out of this. Now we're 24 out of that. The more that you add in, the less significant it becomes to make it. The less important it is to make it. And then it becomes more of, oh my gosh, how far did you advance? So it's like James Franklin. Oh, James Franklin, you made the playoffs in a 16-team playoff. Oh, you lost in the first game. You're fired. So it's not even going to be about making the playoffs. It's about how far you advance. It's already basically become that. Because, if Marcus Freeman and James Franklin don't do all that good, they're going to get they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. It's like, all right, see, you made the playoff not matter as much about making it because more teams can make it. It lessens the significance. It lessens the exclusivity of it. Like I said, I don't understand why that's such a complicated concept for people. It's not. It is just so dumb to allow crappy programs that deserve to go to the Holiday Bowl and the Music City Bowl to be in the playoffs. And then act like that's the same importance and value as it was for Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia and Clemson to make it back in 2015. Those type programs. I don't understand that. It's not even close to the same thing. So it frustrates me to no end. I agree with you 110% DeReal. And there's tons of stuff in the past that I've disagreed with you on. But when it comes to this playoff stuff, I agree with you 1000%. I love your satire and jest of it because when you say everybody wanted this, no, they didn't. And I know that's why you're saying it satirically. I think it's hilarious. But that's what the media wants you to believe, is that everybody wants this. No, they don't. They don't. Not that some casuals do because they don't understand why the expansion is bad, because they don't follow the sport closely. And people that are making the money off this, yeah, they wanted to expand, but everybody else doesn't. But it's going to expand whether we like it or not because we're not the ones that matter. Even though we're the ones that make all the sports money by going to the games, watching them on TV, buying them, all that stuff, we still don't matter. Because they know that even when they expand this thing, even with all these 4-3-2-1, 9-0-2-1-0 systems, Jenny 3-6-7-5-3-0-9, whatever numbers you want to use, all these systems, they know we're still going to watch. And that's what matters to these people at the end of the day, is that we're going to watch no matter what stupid, dumb, rotten decisions they make. And that's sad. So they have us wrapped under their thumb.
Could I please have permission going forward to use the 90210 for calling that this model? Can I please have permission to do that, Jeffrey? Jackson, don't hold your thumb up like you created this, okay? Don't hold your thumb up like you created this model. Jeffrey, do I have your permission to use that in future calls? That is so brilliant. I can't believe I've never thought of that. That is so good.
If you want to use it, you can, man. Just make sure you say where you got it from.
I'll just let you two guys cook at the moment. There's the face freeze again. Oh my God.
Listen, man, you did a great job. But didn't James Franklin answer all his questions by making it to the Final Four, Jeffrey? I thought, if you made it to the Final Four, all your questions would be solved.
I feel like Franklin. I'll be honest.
You've seen with Kevin Keats, the NC State coach. Oh, he made the Final Four. Next year, he's fired. So I mean, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
Now, Jeffrey, I know you've heard this as well since you just love expansion so much. It seems like college basketball is going to expand to 76 teams. Did you see who was projected in the field? I'm not joking. I saw this by T3 Brackets. Great guy on Twitter, by the way. Shout out to him. Was 12-22 South Carolina. Don't we need all 16 teams to be represented in March Madness? We need 12-2 teams to make March Madness. That way they have a chance to win the national championships, okay? Listen, how come in college football the Delaware Blue Hens don't have a chance to win at all? I'm tired of this, okay? Every corner of the country needs to be represented. Delaware needs to be represented, okay? They've got important people in their state all the time. They've got the best business code in the country. That's why most of the businesses are from there. It's time we give the Blue Hens in the college football playoff, right?
I mean, they're I get they kind of look like Michigan, but with like a
their helmets are the exact same. But man, I'm just so sick of it. I mean, Delaware needs some representation in the college football playoff, and they ain't got as good as a chance as Texas A&M.
Representation in the college football playoff, then they need to invest about $1 billion into their football program, and then maybe they'll have a chance.
You're telling me the Delaware Blue Hens don't have a chance right now to make the college football playoff?
No.
They suck, man.
But I thought all this is representation. What if we add another?
Not everybody needs to be represented.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Not everybody needs to be represented. You have to earn your representation sometimes. You have to earn it.
Going 6-6 on the football field should be more than enough, okay?
That's what the bowl games were for. That's what the bowl games were for. Oh my gosh, Boston College beat Holy Cross by 1. They went 6-6. They make a bowl game. Ooh, that's great. That is so awesome. And they lose by 30. That is what your representation was.
Here's Troy V's comment. This is too fun.
That your representation should have just been happy with what you had. Sometimes in life, people are not happy with what they have, and they always want more. And I understand that if you work for it and you earn it, getting more is okay. But if you don't earn it, you can't be just given things. You can't just be gifted a spot in a playoff that you don't deserve, that you haven't earned. You just don't do that.
Hey, listen. My team went 5-3 or 6-3 in the Big Ten, and I'm an SEC team that went 4-4. You're telling me I didn't earn it? I mean, we beat the powerhouses of Vanderbilt, Arkansas, South Carolina, and Texas A&M. You're telling me we didn't earn it on the football field? Sure, we lost to Oklahoma, and sure, we lost to Alabama by 31 points. That happened. Those are flukes, man. Forget about our record being 7-5 and we lost our one Power 4 non-conference games. Listen, everybody belongs, man. Everybody belongs. Sure, our starting quarterback may be down with an injury, but who cares? Who cares, man? We got a chance. Give them a chance. Give them a shot. Sure, they've had 12 shots throughout the year and they haven't proved they can do it, but you never know, man. You never know.
Oh, yeah, just like Arizona State playing the game of their lives against crap Texas, right? And they almost win. And like you said, to quote you were like, oh, people are going to use this as, oh, they need to make the playoffs. And it's like, if they had won that game, they wouldn't have won the next one.
They would have lost by 45 points against Ohio State. Wow. Can you imagine Arizona State versus Ohio? You know how bad Tennessee looked? Oh, it would be twice as bad. Arizona State's probably twice as worse than Tennessee is. You remember that? All that SEC people coming at anti-SEC people say, man, the SEC's overrated. Look what Ohio State did to Tennessee. They batted, and they did beat them black and blue. Then look what happened the next week. They took the Oregon Ducks, and I mean, they played Duck Hunt, the video game with the shooting gun, and you just go, and the duck would fall. That's what it looks like out there.
Hunt, baby. I played Duck Hunt. It's a great game for 1985.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, it was bad what happened out there in the Rose Bowl. It was horrendous. All those people that were saying, man, the SEC over here just quietly went back to their cave. It's amazing. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm looking
Oregon,
apart.
Ohio State. It's just kind of like shoot him now, shoot him now. You
Yeah,
keep
I mean,
at
it was
He
free
doesn't have
reign.
to shoot
Ohio
you now.
State can do whatever they want, whenever they wanted, however they wanted to do it. But well, listen, my point is very simple. Whenever the history of college football is written, just know I, Jeffrey, Josh Pate, and a few others understood this was coming down the pipeline. So maybe, Jeffrey, maybe this is a bold idea we should be listened to going forward. I know we won't be, but maybe those people that were anti-expansion and saw this coming down the track should be the voices listened to going forward. And all the pro playoff expansion people should be silenced because they were wrong. I mean, listen, I appreciate these journalists and stuff understanding it, and I appreciate some people like Kuz's Corner admitting he was wrong. But, bro, how would you not understand the SEC and Big Ten were going to take up everyone else? Like, you're shocked that, man, Texas has got Oklahoma and Texas added to their conference, and they've already got Alabama, Georgia, and a bunch of other powerhouse teams, and you're thinking they're just going to be happy with like 4 playoff spots every year, and they're going to have to share it with the Big 12, Big 12, ACC, and G5. I mean, it's delusional thinking. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, that's just my thought.
I've heard from Mark this. I've heard from Mark Rogers in the past that he said that the Big 12 was so cool when it had 10 teams in it because of the fact that everyone played everybody in the league and you had a true winner. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a true definitively best, the definitive best team because you played everybody in your conference. Unlike now where you've got 18 teams in your league and you only play half of them. And some people like Rutgers have the easiest schedule since, sliced canned bread or whatever Squidward was gnawing on in Squidville. And then you have other ones that have ridiculous schedules. I mean, that's another thing. Everyone kept talking about, Indiana had an easy schedule. Indiana had an easy. Well, guess what? For the previous decade, they had the hardest freaking schedule in college football. It's because you added these other teams that don't belong in the Big Ten. You got rid of the freaking divisions, so you allowed it where some years teams are going to have easy schedules. That's not my problem. That's your problem. So
you're
Indiana
absolutely
having
right.
an easy schedule is their fault. These people complain. These people complain about these problems that they create, yet they fail to understand how or why they created these problems. And that's what irritates me to no end. Indiana made the playoffs because 2 reasons: expansion of the conference and expansion of the playoffs. 2 things I'm against or was against. And yet
I'm still
Indiana
against
makes
it,
the
by the way.
playoffs, and I was happy about it, but I was wrong to be happy about it. So I couldn't have one thing to be happy about that they did. Oh, they did this. Oh, Indiana makes the playoffs. That's cool. Oh, Indiana shouldn't have got in. Indiana shouldn't have got in. They had an easy schedule. They shouldn't have got in. Well, again, they wouldn't have got in if you didn't expand the playoffs, and they wouldn't have got in if you hadn't changed the rules and left the Pac-12 in existence. And we didn't add all these teams and got rid of the divisions because we had to let the divisions the way they were. Indiana would have played Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State and Michigan State and all those teams like they normally do, and they would have lost, and they would have gone 7-5 under Signetti, and they wouldn't have made the freaking playoffs. So again, boo-hoo-hoo, it's your fault, all these morons that like expansion and realignment. It's stupid. It's so freaking stupid, man. If you go back to what Mark was saying about the Big 12 having 10 teams, you play them all, you get a definitive winner. That's how it should be done. If you have all these conferences, you break them up, you bring the Pac-12 back, you bring the Big East back, and they all can somehow have 10 teams in it, and they play a 9-game conference schedule, then you get a definitive winner. That's what would happen. But you don't do that when you have 18 teams in a league, 16 teams in a league. It doesn't work.
Jeffrey, if I can get in this conversation for a little bit, if the Big East was brought back, could we have Penn State in with Pitt and West Virginia, Virginia Tech, and a few other those Eastern schools as well? Because we gotta have Penn State, Pittsburgh on rivalry week. There we go.
Yeah, and also this is something Jackson brought up a good point, is we're going to lose all these non-conference rivalry games because they're completely irrelevant. And it has nothing – Indiana's just the when I attack Indiana and say they haven't made the playoff, I'm not attacking the school for what they did or the administrators or their fans because they did the right thing. I've said that before. Indiana's the smartest school in the country. They did the right thing. It's the system that's the problem. But everybody saw Indiana make it and says, man, they played nobody. Like, nobody decent except Ohio State and Michigan, and they got in. So, you know what? I'm a school that has aspirations of making the playoffs, and I got this tough schedule. Oh, USC, Notre Dame. What if we place Notre Dame with, I don't know, Jack State? Oh, well, we'll get a win, and nobody's going to care because we're in the Big Ten.
If USC Notre Dame got replaced with a cupcake game, I would literally puke my guts out.
Well, it's going to happen. This is the consequences of expanding the playoffs. This is what happened.
But before we continue on with the points, we want to say thank you to Doreen for reposting this edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live call-in show on @/Twitter. We appreciate you very much. She is an amazing contributor to the Voice of College Football Network. You see her on the Ohio State channel, the Michigan channel, and she's telling everybody to tune in to the 36th edition of the Alabama College Show. And we also appreciate Amber Holly for telling everybody to tune in to the Alabama College Show. We have 158 people watching this show on the Voice of College Football X account, 37 on my personal account, which that is 195 people watching on X. We want you to know, come on in to Alabama The Voice College Football. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video or another episode whatsoever. We thank you so much for tuning in to this 36th edition of the College Show. We thank you so much. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that Jeffrey, Coach Burtz, Coach Spook, Manny Wilson, and I are creating all right here on Alabama The Voice College Football, including one of our interviews where Coach Burtz and I had on Mark Hudspeth for an interview. We talked with him about his take on the future of college football, what he thinks about Alabama, and he even talked a little bit about Tulane football. But what?
Oh boy, I need Tulane football in my life. Tulane's my new team, by the way, for this year, guys. I'm just letting you know that.
What he would say, because his son is at Tulane. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put this video in the chat. So we've been pretty busy here on Alabama The Voice College Football. So we're going to continue to stay busy for all of you because we're going to make sure you got all the perfect content. No worries there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm a refugee now for my fandom. Since Vince Marrow, Mark Stoops' right-hand man, left him to go to Louisville. I'm a refugee. I want him fired, so I'm a John Summerall fan. He was a former player for Kentucky, great head coach. I'm going to root for Tulane because I want to see a team win something this year. So I'm going to root for Tulane.
I heard you on Monday talking about Marrow leaving Kentucky for Louisville on Monday, and also saw Vance Meek from Wildcats Wire talking about his take what could happen to Mark Stoops for 2025, which I remember saying that if Kentucky has a really bad year, then Stoops is gone.
Yeah, there's nobody I've seen in this fan base that believes he's going to have a good year. Like, it's near you. Like, I haven't seen one person. I'm sure they exist. God bless those people. It's not. I don't think it's going to happen. We just don't have the players. We don't have the quarterback. We don't have the continuity. We're not good. You know, sometimes you go into a season, you know, you're going to be 8 to 10 point underdogs in almost every game. Jackson, we're an 11.5 point favorites at home against Toledo. Holy Toledo. You know how bad that is?
That's what that Raiders guy said a lot. Like, I remember that. Like, I think it was Alan King. That's his name. I know he called games for the Oakland Athletics.
I mean, 11.5 point favorites against Toledo. Alabama played Toledo. They'd be 31.5 point favorites at least. We're bad. Yeah. We're gonna lose multiple games by 40.
I remember when Indiana used to do that. They'd be favored by like 7 against Ball State, and now they're favored by like almost 30 against Old Dominion. It's like, yeah, Indiana's become good. So it's like that, you know, you're good when you're favored by 25, 30 points against garbage teams. You know, if you're only favored by 10 or 7 or 11, you're not good.
Yeah, we're not good, Jeffrey. We're not good. we are not good at all, and it's going to be a catastrophe this year, and I've got no reason to watch it. But maybe if they expand the playoffs to 40 teams, like Matt Rule was jokingly suggesting, then we can make the college football playoff.
Have you noticed though, DeVril, that it doesn't always happen, but with a lot of these mid-tier programs, though, like Kentucky, a coach gets a big extension, and then they tank.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
Mark Stoops got a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since he's gotten a lot of Mel Tucker. That's a different situation. But these mid-tier programs, though, these guys get these big extensions, and then it just all goes to crap. Doesn't always happen, but it has happened here. Because, I mean, Stoops, 3-5 years ago, was seen as one of the best coaches in the country. Because, like, oh, my gosh, look what he's doing at Kentucky. And then he gets paid. And it's like, oh, he might go to A&M, and then he doesn't. And then it's like, now he just bleh. Like,
so what I'm hearing is Bert Signetti should not be paid a single dime more than what he's worth going forward. Otherwise, Indiana's going to tank. That's what I'm hearing right now.
And I had that in the back of my mind when I was saying that. I wasn't going to say it. But, yes, I did. I'm like, Signetti, you got paid, man. Like, let's remain good. Like, let's not do this. Because there's something about when you get the green bucks, man. You get that big check, and then it's like you lose focus. It's like, well,
you can buy a lot of souls. You can buy a lot of SpongeBob souls. I was making a SpongeBob souls reference. It didn't go down. It wasn't the best. Sometimes you make jokes and they don't land. It's okay. It happens. We move on to the next one.
Yeah, I've made plenty of bad jokes in my day. I just keep coming back with more. People are going to remember the good ones.
One thing to never do when making a joke is explaining a joke. Never, ever explain.
Yeah, you don't dwell on it or explain it. Like, if people don't get it, you just move on to the next one.
Exactly.
I mean, that is the number one rule of comedy. And when you are a comedian on stage, do not have dead air. You do not have dead air. When you're in front of a class, a public speaking class, do not have dead air. It does, what you're talking about could be the biggest pile of trash in the history of the existence. And yet, if you just keep on going and rolling with it, at worst, it's just gonna be bad. But if you have dead air and you're boring, and people looking at you it's just disgustingly bad, then you're gonna be remembered as one of the most horrific in the world. Not have dead air. You just keep going.
Well, DeVril, anything else you got for us tonight before we get to our next caller?
No, I was just going to ask you what you all got coming up, because I haven't been here in a while, because, it's kind of a dead period in college football. Nothing's really happening other than people talking about random stuff. The realignment warriors are at it talking about if still believe Florida State's going to the Big 10 or SEC or Big 12, somebody, they got stuff to talk about. What do you all have to talk about?
Well, I got this... Well, we've got an upcoming show for Crimson Tide Live on Monday. We believe
I will try to make that show. I will try to make that show.
Well, we will, yeah. And we'll be having Brody Smoot join us to discuss his take on the latest news and notes on the Crimson Tide, including the recruiting notes, like what to watch for, what not to watch for, much, much more. And I can tell you right now, he's got some great stuff coming ahead. He may not be at Touchdown Alabama anymore, but he'll be telling us all what his plans are, all right here on the 42nd edition of Crimson Tide Live, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, we take your calls Thursday nights. Jeffrey and I do, all right here on Alabama, the Voice of College Football. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss it. And, again, DeReal, thanks for liking and reposting our stuff. We appreciate it, man. Like, you are an amazing contributor to what we're doing here, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Like the work you guys are doing. You all make the off-season fun, even though there's not a whole lot to talk about. So, we got to talk a lot about some of the similar stuff, but, there's always new twist on it. You have, like, this house settlement that comes out of nowhere. Got this 8 SEC teams can make the playoffs. scenario. You get a bunch. Yeah, I'm not joking, Jeffrey. 8 SEC teams would have made the playoffs last year. I'm not even joking.
When you check out Monday's edition of Crimson Tide Live, you'll see Coach Burt's having one of his famous venting sessions on the house settlement, and I'm just kind of like, yep, therapist, just being like, okay, so what's bothering you today?
Yeah, it's already got appealed, so I don't understand why he's upset. I mean, it got appealed within like 3 days of it happening because of some Title IX violation. I'm like, listen, I understand some women's golf team. I don't know if it was women golf. I think it was gymnastics or something. I think it was gymnastics. I could be wrong, so please check me. I know some bass fishing team isn't going to make as much money as the basketball team, and they're going to say because of Title IX, we should have
is that such a complicated concept for people as well? You have to make money to earn money. I mean, it's as simple as that. If the NBA and the NFL weren't as loaded as they were with money, then they wouldn't be able to pay their players what they do. I mean, you look at the college revenue, and football is 85% of it. So
yeah, but the women's golf team needs their share, Jeffrey. The women's golf team needs their share.
No, they don't, because they have to make money to earn money. What are we going to do? Oh, take our tax dollars and give it to the women's golf team because they're upset they're not making as much as even the women's basketball players? Become a women's basketball player. Again, you cannot get millions of dollars when there are not millions of dollars in women's golf. Like, okay, so if you have a company, all right, and it's the biggest company in the world, but it only has 25 employees, those 25 employees are going to make a crap ton of money because it's distributed in between all of them. But when you're Walmart and you're the biggest retailer in the world and you're paying 5 billion employees, then guess what? You only make 12 an hour. I mean, the thing is that you have to be worth a lot to make a lot of money. Us here, we don't make millions because we're not worth millions. All right? LeBron, he's a flopper. He sucks. I don't like LeBron at all. But he's worth what he makes because people watch him. The NBA's got the money to pay him. So there you go. Nobody watches women's golf. I mean, heck, some of these sports I've never heard of in my life.
Yeah, so but what about the women's gymnastic team? The women's gymnastic team, the rowing team, the polo team, the skiing team. You're telling me those institutions shouldn't make as much as the football team, Jeffrey?
No. I mean, hey, you know what? If they're so upset about not making money, then what they need to do is they need to go to the football team and say, give us some of your money. Do that. Just say, hey, Bryce Underwood, you're making a lot of money this year as the quarterback for Michigan. So you know what? Give about $1 million or $2 million of your money and give it to the gymnastics team and the water polo team and the curling team. Or whatever other freaking team. Do that because I sure as heck ain't paying for it because I'm not watching and I don't care. That right there is just horrible, problematic thing. When you got people like Angel Reese out there that are demanding that they make the same as LeBron, they do not make enough money in women's basketball to earn what LeBron makes. If the WNBA suddenly goes out there and they have the same amount of fans watching the games on TV, in person, buying jerseys, all this other stuff, then she'll make the same. And that's okay. I would be okay with that. I would be absolutely okay with Angel Reese making the same as LeBron in that scenario. But that's not how it works in life. The WNBA literally operates at a negative. The NBA has to pay them to stay afloat. Just like how Microsoft pumps all this money into Xbox and they lose money on it, but they keep doing it to be like, hey, we have a video game console. All right, whatever. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You have to earn money to make money. It just You cannot expect women's golf, water polo, and all those sports they do not deserve or need to. They physically can't.
Base froze.
They physically can't make the same amount of money as football. They just can't because there's not enough money in the sport. I mean, I'm sorry that that's a problem. I'm sorry that people get mad about it. But if I was a water polo player,
You know what I would be doing? What I would be doing is trying to increase awareness for the sport and be like, water polo is cool. More people should watch water polo. And if that happens, then I would make more money as a water polo player instead of complaining that I'm not making as much. Well, you're not going to make as much because nobody watches your stuff. I mean, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Why is that an issue? I mean, I will never understand either why people complain about making $20 an hour to flip hamburgers when it's like, all right, so now you're going to make people pay $9 per Big Mac. That doesn't work either. It just doesn't. Like you cannot expect people to get paid a ton of money to do jobs that are anybody can do. You can't do that. You have to have some type of experience. That's why a brain surgeon makes a lot more money than a hamburger flipper. It's just the way that it works. It's not a derogatory thing toward the hamburger guy, but that's just the way that life works. All right. You know, the inflation sucks. Yeah. But you can't be making way more money than what you're making before, or you're going to drive up the prices of everything through the roof. And then guess what? You're not saving any extra money in the first place. You're devaluing the dollar, and it hurts the entire economy, which even hurts players like Bryce Underwood and LeBron. It hurts them too. I mean, it hurts everybody. Complaining about stuff and all that isn't going to always help. Now, positive things that you can do is again, raise awareness about your sport, raise awareness about your field. Give people a reason to believe that you deserve to make more. And if you can do that, then maybe you should. But it just isn't going to work that way just by demanding it. You're not going to just get it like that. And if you do get it, you're hurting others.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I have no use for people that complain about stuff just for the sake of complaining about it, but then don't offer any type of solution to your problem. Raise awareness for water polo, raise awareness for women's golf, make people want to watch your sport. And if 10 million people watch the women's golf championship, the exact same amount as watch the college football championship, then you can make the same amount of money and everybody wins. But until that happens, you're not going to make that.
There we go. Well, DeVille, we appreciate your call tonight, and we will definitely be seeing you later.
Yeah, I appreciate you all having me on. I appreciate getting not one, but 2 all-time rants for Jeffrey. And my only hope is you all upload those to either the main channel or the Alabama channel as little short rants. I think they would do excellent. And just for the record, Jeffrey, I agree with everything you said. I was just playing a little devil's advocate to, keep the conversation going. I'm not that stupid.
I appreciate it, Darrell. Well, the devil's advocate, you got the 2 rants out of me. So thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. The conversation's a lot better instead of saying you're absolutely right and I agree with you and move on if you give a little pushback. But I am not that stupid. I just wanted to say for the record. Obviously, college football should be paid more than women's gymnastics or any other sport because they make the most. It should be common sense, but it's not that common anymore.
It should be. Like I appreciate it, Burks. I really do. I appreciate it. That means a whole lot. I really appreciate it. But like the real said, it should be basic common sense. That's what's been lost in society today. People don't have that. That's not complicated. Yeah. So I appreciate it, Burks. I appreciate it, Darrell. And Abdul as well. Easy, simple math is what that is.
There you go. Darrell, we will be seeing you real soon, and we'll definitely be seeing you next few days. Goodbye.
Yes, thanks for having me on, and everybody please hit the like button to keep the streams going, whether you're on X or YouTube. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Darrell. You have a great night.
And we've got our last card for the night, and we've got a few minutes left, and we've got Bert's to end this show with a bang.
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing, dude?
Doing great.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, how was your vacation, Jeffrey? Where did you go?
I went and I saw some relatives in another state, so it was cool. It was great. The thing is, like, I've been staying busy doing tons of stuff. I needed a break. Like, it was nice just to not have to think. Sometimes not thinking is good. I know people say, like, if you stop using your brain muscles, then your brain can shrivel up like your muscles in your body. But I think a week break is not going to be enough where your brain will shrink completely. Maybe a little bit.
So let me ask the only Alabama. I found out today in this call-in show. I don't think no caller talked about Alabama. But how about I'll be the one talking about it for today.
Mm.
But how is that receiver, that Sedarian guy? Do you guys how confident are you guys in like landing him? He's like the number 2 receiver in 247. He's even better than Chris Henry Jr. ranked, which was crazy because Chris Henry Jr. is a really good recruit, but he's really good as well. I'm not gonna lie. I saw some of his film. What do you guys feel about him? You guys feel like he's gonna commit to Alabama, or you guys feel go to? I would go to Alabama in a heartbeat. Like they're just a better football program.
He's going to
Auburn.
come to Bama. I can promise you that.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
thing that would make sense about
Yeah.
going to Auburn, and I'm
It's the
about
money.
to vomit saying it. Money, yes. Money's
exactly.
always the reason. The only
Yeah.
other reason besides, like you said, money would be, well, he'd be the best player, get all the shine, blah, blah, blah. The problem with that, though, is they don't have a quarterback that's worth anything. So it's like you're probably not going to get a lot of targets. So Bama would make more sense because you're going to be at a better team, better program, better QB. You're going to get more passes thrown to you. But like you said, Auburn might be able to throw more money at him, though, because their team isn't as good.
Yeah. Hey, man, as long as he doesn't go to Ohio State, I'm good, man. Like, Ohio State just gets freaking everyone, man. It's so, like, frustrating, but it is what it is, Like,
that's what
Ohio
makes
State
me
and
laugh,
LSU.
Burks, because so many Ohio State fans like, Michigan, they cheat and all that, right? And then it's like Ohio State, like they don't cheat, right, with the NIL because it's legal. But it's like they get everybody, man. they get everybody.
It's like they get crazy. Like,
they get everybody.
Bullshit, bro. It's literally like they get like literally every dude. They even literally got like a force they have Chris Henry Jr. in this class, and then they have this other guy who's like ranked 59. He's like a top 5-6 receiver in the class. I forgot his name, something Dixon. It's like, dude, come on, dude. Michigan just needs one of those type of guys, and our receiving court could be so good. But dude, it's just like, dude, like why would like a receiver go to Michigan? They play such a run heavy offense, and they need to start, listen, we're not going to get any 5-star receiver until they actually, like Bryce Underwood, can throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to throw the ball more. So we'll know by this year if, we can get a good 5-star receiver. It really depends on how much we throw the ball, because when you're in your run first offense, you're just not going to land a 5-star receiver. It's the same with Notre Dame, Michigan and Notre Dame, they just cannot. Well, but with Alabama, you guys are so good in running the ball and throwing the ball that you guys get 5-star running backs, 5-star receivers, and same at OSU as well. That's the right way. You guys kind of even it out. You guys now, I think, throw more a little, but same with Ohio State as well. But that's how you guys, get recruits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
Wisconsin, like they were trying to
Yeah.
open it up, right, with Fickle,
Yeah.
like, take it from the run first of their previous head coaches to having, especially the Paul Chris there. That was insane. Just so run heavy, so 80s, and then try to open it up. It's like they didn't have anybody to throw the ball. They didn't have anybody to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not going to be able to do that. Like you have to have a great quarterback and you have to have great receivers to be able, like Washington with Penix and Roma Dunze and Polk and all those other guys. Like that works because they got great receivers and a great gunslinger. It's just as simple as that. You don't have that. Because Penn State, like we really do not know legitimately how good Drew Aller is, or Allaire, however you say his name. I always said Aller, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Point is about Drew Aller is that he don't have the best receivers in the West. Julian Fleming is not the guy.
Yeah.
All right, he's not the guy. That's why he left Ohio State. So they don't have great receivers. They don't have the Hamlers, and they don't have the Dotsons, and they don't have any of them guys anymore. They don't have those players. They have a bunch of guys that probably could play for Virginia, pretty much at receiver.
Yeah.
In every other position, they're pretty great. They're really good. Running backs are great. Defense is really great. They got tons of defensive players in the NFL. Their receiving core stinks. And it's really hard to expect Aller to be as good as Will Howard. Howard, when you don't have the weapons that Will Howard has. I don't know, again, how good Drew Aller is, but he don't have the same playing field. He just doesn't at receiver. If he had the receivers that Mac Jones had at Alabama and Tua, then Drew Aller probably would be putting up Heisman numbers, but he's not because he don't have those players. And the same thing is at Michigan. I mean, because I remember with McNamara, like, oh, he's boring. He's just dinking and dunking. He's not dynamic. McCarthy's more dynamic. And it's like, all right, well, McCarthy was more dynamic, and Michigan had a couple of decent receivers, but the passing offense still wasn't spectacular, though.
No, it wasn't.
Because you don't have the guys.
Exactly. And it's so stupid because it's like, oh, people are like, oh, like in Michigan channels too, they're like, oh, why are 5-star receivers, like, when you come to Michigan, you're going to get developed. No, when you come to Michigan, you're not going to get the ball thrown because it's a run-heavy offense, so they have to start, opening it up more, but throwing the ball more. That's how receivers are only going to go. 5-star receivers are only going to come to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand common sense in this stuff. That's why we're not getting 5-star receivers. We are getting O-linemen, running backs, these type of guys because, like, how did we get Justice Haynes from you guys? It's because, we run the ball more. It's that simple, right? That's why he transferred out of Alabama. He feels like that system with Alabama, they were probably running the ball less probably. They wanted to throw more with Kalen DeBoer's offense. With, when you have a guy like, your receiver, forgot his name again, that amazing receiver on Alabama. Who's that? I'm forgetting his name.
Jackson.
Which receiver are you guys talking about?
Yo, Alabama's receiver. I'm the guy on the cover.
Ron Williams.
Ron Williams.
Okay, yeah.
So I was reading the chat for
Yeah.
a second, and I lost track of what you're saying. I just wrote receiver. I'm like, who's he talking about? Ron Williams. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, that's what I'm trying to say is that's why Justice Haynes transferred to go to Michigan, man, is because they're running the ball, right? We're not going to get ever a 5-star receiver because, we need to throw the ball more unless we pay him stupid money, like $4 million or some crap like that. Okay. But why would we do that?
Yeah, especially when you're paying the rest of the team to be good. I mean, that's why, like you said earlier with the Auburn guy or the receiver that hasn't committed yet, but, he might go to Auburn because they'll probably have more money to spend, particularly on him, because the rest of their team isn't good. Alabama's paying defensive linemen and O-linemen and receivers and all that.
Yeah.
It's like to add him to the cap space, it's like it's harder to do that. I mean, that's why with the House settlement, if it was instituted, because all this pushback back and forth with it, if it really was a $20 million cap for every school,
yeah,
if it really truly was, if that ever actually happened with no outside boosters, then it would be interesting, because then you would have to see all these programs legitimately have to use the same amount of money to organize a roster. It'd be insane. How would you do that? How much do you pay your quarterback? How much do you pay your receiver? This stuff would be coming down to the tens and ones. Oh my gosh, Alabama, I will pay you $600,000.51 to come play for us. Texas, we'll pay you $600,000.
Oh, this conversation made Jeffrey face freeze again.
52 cents. And it could come down to that if you really wanted to do that. But it's not going to happen because they're going to keep all these third-party donors. They're going to keep all these outside influences that are still be throwing millions away, probably, and it's not going to be truly fair. But if you actually had a cap space, it would make these recruitments and it would make all this stuff insane, because it would come down to what positions do you prioritize? Do you pay more for your receivers? Do you pay more for your corners?
Oh my
The
God!
team would have we can prioritize every position equally. You would have to have some weakness.
Yeah, no, that's the only solution, bro. Give everyone the same exact cap space, kind of like NFL, or like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I've been saying it since the beginning. If you wanted to do NIL once it started getting out of hand, not at the very, very beginning when it was like, it's just about name, image, likeness. Yeah, it's funny they don't use that anymore. But, now, like when it started getting out of hand, I was like, cap space. If you have a cap space, then that would be the only way it would be fair. The only problem is, though, $20.5 million a year, right? Every school. How would Merrimack do that? You can't. So that's why it's still messed up. It only would work for the Power 5 or 4.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work for
There you
those
go.
teams. But I mean, what do they do? Like a $1 million cap for FCS? I don't know. But it's just interesting because if you had the cap, it would be fair. And then you would legitimately actually find out which coaching staffs are good. You would. And how to negotiate with your team. That would make it really interesting. You would find out which coaches are frauds in a heartbeat.
Dude,
Well-
and no, yeah, not only that too, but like, oh no, go ahead, Jackson. You want to say something?
I was going to say, what else is on your mind tonight for the 36th edition of the Call-In Show, Birch?
Yeah, no, like you can actually get a like even if we do a cap space, they're gonna find ways to get away, get away with it. Like a stipend, right? So I played high school football. I had a guy who was a D1 recruit. He actually played in Michigan State. His name was Mike Panashik, right? He was a 4-star recruit on our team, and he would get stipends, allowances for gaining, they give him money, for food and stuff so he can gain weight. They're gonna find ways because you can actually get stipends without, they're gonna find ways where okay, they do a $20 million, cap space, but then they're gonna pay recruits like, oh, we're gonna give you this much and we can use it to put it in stipends or stuff like that. They're gonna find ways to get away from the paying people even more, even though there's a cap space. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel is would happen.
It would.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like, if you had a cap space, it would have to be legit. It would have to be
Yeah.
legit where you do not have any outside bounds. No strings attached. It's all of them the same. But it won't happen. And that's what's so frustrating because I know it's not. There's
It's
no
not.
way in the
Impossible.
world that it's going to happen.
Impossible. Yeah.
It's not even enforceable at this point. I mean, that's why everybody, you keep saying, oh, the NCAA is powerless. I wonder why. It was a slow decline. It's like any of your Chinese dynasties or the Roman Empire. It didn't happen overnight. The dynasties rose and they fell, and it took time.
Yeah.
The NCAA has lost power over time. It took a long time for them to lose power. Just like people like America, you look back at history and you see the problems and the issues that have gone over time. And then you get to a point where it all crashes together. And then you realize you're screwed. And that's when your realization hits is when you're almost at the end. The NCAA is almost at its end. The only way that it can even be fixed is if somehow rules can be set in place that will be enforced legitimately, which how can you enforce them when you don't have any power? So, yeah, I mean, they're screwed. The NCAA, what is it? I mean, because it kills me. They keep saying student athletes. I did a live show with Will last week on my channel. You were watching that.
I was watching it.
And I was saying, like, they're calling them student athletes, right?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
How are they student athletes when they make
bullshit.
more money than CEOs at some companies? How student athlete? The academics are not first. They used to be. When players went to Stanford, it's like, oh my gosh, I suck. I'm a mid-football player, but you know what? I'm going to become an engineer or CEO and blah, 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 and that's why I'm going to Stanford. No one's going to Stanford for football. They're going to programs where they're going to make the most money to play football, and yeah, they might get a degree, maybe, probably, whatever, but it don't matter to them because even if they don't go pro, they've made so much money in college. I'm talking about football, obviously, not water polo, because that was the whole discussion earlier. But they made so much money that if you invest it right, you're good. You're good for life. It kills me, but it's true.
It's so hilarious because so many of these like student athletes don't even use their degree. I'm not gonna lie. Like once they're done with college football, man, they go do other stuff like try to run their business, or they don't really use their degree like that. Like I know that's what I've noticed a lot, and like a lot of this like Michigan stuff. It's like, oh, you go to Michigan, get a Michigan degree, you're gonna be the most successful person in the world. It's like, dude, these days, man, I'm letting you know right now, jobs don't give a shit what college you go to. Okay. and it's just really funny. Like many jobs don't these days, you know.
I know, right?
And it's just so funny how some of these recruiting tactics, like you get a Michigan degree, you're gonna be the most successful elite
Well,
CEO. I just start laughing my ass off on stuff like this, you know, because it's really how you use, how smart you are, your skills, not your degree. It's just hilarious, you know. Like a person with Alabama degree could be making so much more than a Michigan. There's so many people who have Michigan
yeah.
degrees. They don't even they make like only 40K, nothing really, like 25K, being like a substitute teacher or something like that. It's really like, you know, it really doesn't matter as long as you have the skills and stuff. And it's just so funny when I see it in college football recruiting how they're like, oh, a Michigan Notre Dame degree, you're gonna be the most successful person in the world.
Not necessarily. I mean, I agree with
Yeah.
that. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to have
Yeah.
skills. I mean, if you go
Yeah.
to college and get a
Yeah,
degree
man.
in the field that you have skills in, and then
Yeah.
maybe that paper will help you a little bit. But it's like
Yeah.
if you're not actually skilled in what you're doing and you just pass the grades, then
Exactly.
it doesn't necessarily matter because anybody can pass grades. I mean, colleges, I've heard, have made it a lot easier for you to pass these days. Like, they want you to pass. Like, oh, you're paying all this money. They want you to pass.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can be a moron, pass, get a piece of paper, but it's like, do you even know what you're doing?
Well,
Maybe not. So I agree with that. I mean, I still think that in certain fields you need college, in certain fields,
Yeah, you do.
but
I
I think
agree.
for the vast majority of stuff, I agree that I'm a believer in work and hands-on. I feel like a lot of skills in America could be taught by being an apprentice or an intern. You don't
I
even
agree.
why do you have to go to school to be an accountant, a secretary, any of that crap? You can learn from the person
Exactly.
already doing it.
Same with
It's easy.
doctor too. Same with doctor too, in my opinion. You
yeah.
know.
But yeah, it's we're getting close to kickoff for the 2025 season. And any more final thoughts before we get out here? Tell everybody what the people got to look forward to.
Uh, yeah, nothing really much. You know, just waiting for the 90. We have like what 90 days until we know the Michigan verdict of the cheating. You know, so it's like 45 to 90 days. So that's something that, you know, keep an eye on. You too as well. We can talk about it once the verdict comes. But all I'm gonna say, man, is Michigan Ohio State YouTube channels, one of them are gonna die, you know, because the trolls are gonna come and destroy their channels.
Oh
Like,
God.
you know, whoever comes, Voice of Cause Michigan channel, there's gonna be so many OSU trolls coming to destroy if they get like actual like a penalty, like a suspension or like a bowl ban or like vacated wins. But if nothing happens with those two, oh, the Michigan trolls are gonna come and they're gonna be killing Buckeye Scoop and all of these other Ohio State channels. It's gonna be an all-out war.
All I
So
know is the disc.
get. Oh, he froze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Course that's happening on social media stuff is killing me, man.
Yeah.
It dominates every waking moment of some of these people's lives. It's like it don't
I
matter,
agree.
man. Like you both won a title.
Yeah.
You both won a title. Cool.
Yeah.
Like really cool. That it's like, Michigan's toast and their title was illegitimate. And then Michigan fans like, ours was legitimate and Ohio State, you saw it's hilarious. It's like
it's a psychotic shit show, bro. At this point, like I'm actually grateful. I'm fan of. Okay, so I'm actually a Rangers fan. FC. I don't know if you've heard of the rivalry, Rangers and Celtics. If you're a soccer fan, the rivalry is called Old Firm. Go search
There
it
you
up.
go.
The fans literally fight each just like a mob, bro. They have the craziest. And then I'm a Michigan fan, so it's like both those fan bases, man, are like just like for both sports are just crazy. I've come to that conclusion, you know.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
you got
yeah,
you
they're
could
crazy, but they make college football more interesting. I can't say they make it better.
Yeah, I agree.
But they make it interesting at the very least and gives us stuff to talk about. And this right here, quote of the night from Troy.
Yeah.
You get what
I
you put
agree.
into college. If you're going just for a grade, that's all you get. If you want to learn something about yourself, that's what you will get.
Wise
I
old
agree
man
1,000%.
Yep.
Quote of the night.
Yeah, of course. Agree. Well, that's all I got, man. It's gonna be fun though, you know. Thanks you for having me on, and we'll see in 90
Absolutely.
days. 45, 90 days, man. Like before, like I
We'll
think
be here
September.
talking about it with you, I'm sure.
For
It's
sure.
gonna be insane
Yeah.
no matter what.
It's gonna be insane. Oh, and the
These
trolls are gonna
things-
come. If I'm on, some Ohio State troll or someone's gonna come on. You know, like they love. You know what I love too is they hide under the shadows. Michigan Ohio State fans. If you talk trash, if you're like in a random channel, let's say, and you're like in a Michigan channel, or not, like let's say like a Notre Dame channel, and the guy's talking trash about Michigan, some Ohio State fan will come out of nowhere and start talking trash about Michigan, and it can be the other way around. They talk about trash about Ohio State, some YouTuber in like a Tennessee show. So Michigan fan is gonna come out of the shadows and talk. It's just so funny, man.
I love
So
it, Burt's, because no matter
yeah,
where I'm at, I could be on my channel.
yeah,
I could be on the Voice of College Football talking with
yeah,
Mark
man.
Rogers himself.
Yeah.
I could be here. If I say anything about either two teams, the chat.
Yeah,
Every
somebody's gonna come on the shadow.
Every time. It don't happen with any other team. I can talk. Auburn, you suck, Auburn. Suck. You're horrible. Auburn,
Yeah.
trash,
Yeah, man.
bad. They're not there. Ohio State, you're the worst program ever. I can't stand you. Michigan, you stink. Ugh, horrible pro cheaters. Like, it don't matter. They're there.
Yeah.
Every time. And I'm like, I'm not even in a Michigan chat or an Ohio State chat. It don't
I know,
matter.
dude. Yeah. Well, thanks
It's
for having
great.
me on, guys, and have a great night. Take care,
You're
man.
welcome. You have a good
Absolutely,
night.
Bert.
Sleep
Have a
well,
good
Bert.
Of course.
And that is all the college for tonight. But before we go, we're going to tell you about the Voice of College Football X account, social media accounts all over the place, where you got the top-notch discussion, debate, analysis with no off-season. You got the Buckeyes call-in show, the Michigan call-in show, the Oklahoma call-in show. Man, it's just call-in shows galore. College shows everywhere, including ours, all right there. Breaking the fourth wall. We don't have time to break the 256th wall tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to break the 256th wall, man. You got to really be feeling it.
There we go. And we got the Voice of College Football Instagram account. And recently we got a post, for yours truly and Coach Smoot. That's a collaboration from the Voice of College Football. And you got the projected 2025 offense. And I can tell you right now, it's looking amazing. I am looking forward to this offense. And we got the TikTok account, where you got all over the place. Top 10 Heisman winners, Lamar Jackson, Reggie Bush, Tim
Good
Tebow.
quality content on a not so quality platform, I will say.
There you go. Marcus Allen, Tony Dorsett, Barry Sanders.
You gotta
and
love those picks,
Joe
man.
Burrow.
Iconic.
Facebook. There we go. You got the Voice of College Football. Mark and Cam at it again Wednesday nights on the Miami Show. All right there. And I can tell you right now, we've got some magic cooking for sure. Jeffrey, what have you got going on your world this week?
Definitely. Recently, I did a live stream with Will and D talking about the settlement and the NBA Finals and previewing the ACC. We're probably going to try to do some previews for the other conferences as well before the season starts. Hopefully, we can do the Big Ten and the SEC because those are the only conferences that matter anymore, right? So definitely talk about those as well. Had a lot of fun doing it with Will. It's been a while, so it was great to do that. Over on my channel, Only Talk Sports. Won't find it here. Find it on my YouTube channel, Only Talk Sports. Definitely appreciate it if you give me a subscribe over there. And I will have more videos and lives coming up soon as we get closer and closer to college football season. And also follow me on X, where I do stay off it more than most people that are on X. I mean, I do tweet every now and then, and if I get a wild hair, I might even have a string of tweets. But it's not common. But I do tweet decently regularly over on Twitter. Usually, at least try to do it once a day. And so you find out what I got going on my channel over here at Alabama Voice of College Football, and some other thoughts I have going around the sports world. Definitely appreciate if you give me a follow over there. But most importantly, being here tonight, fantastic show. Because of you guys, always enjoy talking Alabama and whatever we can cook up with the chat on Alabama Crimson Tide Live. Definitely subscribe down below to Alabama Voice of College Football. Give a like, share it on social media, even on TikTok. TikTok, not a fan, but Voice of College Football accounts on there. Definitely share it on TikTok, anywhere you can find on social media. Definitely would appreciate it.
There we go. And of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on my personal YouTube channel, where I've got my latest episode of the Jacksonian with USC Primetime Live himself, Matt Zimick, as he's going over his take on the Trojans and much more. Let me tell you something, you're in for a wild ride, and you can check me out on what I have to say on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram threads JacksShots543908, where I've got my latest on here and there. Not only on the Paul Feinbaum and Collins shows once a week, but on Alabama Crimson Tide Live and on the Jacksonian. And of course, you can check out Crimson Tide Live and the Primetime Live show on your favorite audio platform on audio, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and review and like, comment, subscribe. Click on the notification bell to Alabama with the Voice of College Football so you never miss another video or another episode whatsoever. And we will see you soon. And roll
Tide.